Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a classic showdown, but this one's not happening on the field. Nope. This is a battle for the future of prediction itself. Cold, hard data versus good old human gut instinct. So, for this big Serie A matchup, the question isn't just who's going to win, it's how do we even decide who's going to win? Do we put our trust in the pure logic of an algorithm, or do we go with the seasoned intuition of the experts? And to figure that out, we're putting two heavyweights in the ring. In one corner, you've got the AI brain, crunching millions of data points with some seriously complex machine learning models. And in the other corner, you have the pundit's gut, running on years of experience and a deep tactical feel for the game. Okay, let's get into it. First up, let's peek inside the mind of the machine and see how the SPECTRA AI from the Gambler's Ruin project breaks this whole game down. All right, so the AI kicks things off with the ELO rating system. This is basically a score that tells you how strong a team is, and it changes after every single match. And right out of the gate, check this out. Lecce is at 1510.3 and Sassuolo is at 1511.3. To the AI, these teams are practically identical in strength. Then it pulls out a fancy tool called Poisson Regression. All you need to know is it's a way to predict how many goals each team is likely to score, looking at things like home advantage. And once again, look how tight this is. It's predicting 1.61 goals for Lecce and 1.69 for Sassuolo. It's another photo finish. But here's the thing. The AI doesn't just stop there. Oh no, it uses a whole team of these advanced models. We're talking stuff like random forests and even a neural network that tries to think a little bit like a human brain to find patterns nobody else can see. Okay, now, this is where it gets really cool. It's called a stacked model. Think of it like a team of experts. All those different models we just talked about, they each make their own prediction. Then, a supermodel, this meta-learner, looks at all those predictions and makes one final, super refined forecast. It's pretty clever. And here it is, the AI's final call. After all that number crunching, it comes to a surprisingly strong conclusion, a massive 56.81% chance of a draw. I mean, that's more than double the chance of a Sassuolo win, and it just dwarfs the possibility of Lecce pulling it off. All right, so the machine has spoken. But what about the people who live and breathe this stuff? Let's check in with the pundits. Does their gut feeling line up with all that data? Well, would you look at that? Transfermarkt is totally on the same page as the machine. They're looking at Lecce's strength at home versus Sassuolo's shaky away form and saying, yeah, a stalemate seems like the most likely outcome here. 4bet, though. They're looking at it a little differently. They're not so much picking a winner as they are predicting the vibe of the game. They see a tight, low-scoring match, and they're pretty confident we'll see fewer than 3.5 total goals. And when you look at the recent stats here, you can kind of see where they're coming from. I mean, both teams are only averaging 1 goal a game. But here's the kicker. Look at Lecce's defense, giving up 2 goals per game. That's probably why the experts are a bit hesitant to pick a clear winner, right? It just reinforces that whole idea of a draw. Okay, so it's time for the main events. Where do these two, the AI brain and the pundit's gut, actually see eye to eye? And more importantly, where do they totally disagree? Let's put them head to head. Well, when it comes to the big question, who wins, it's kind of shocking. We've got a clear consensus. The super complex data model and the human experts both land on the same thing, a draw. But this is where it gets really interesting. This is the real debate. The AI is pretty sure we're going to see some action, giving it a nearly 64% chance of going over 2.5 goals. The pundits, totally the opposite. They're calling for a nail-biter, expecting it to stay under 3.5. This is where man and machine just do not agree. So you've got this conflicting info on goals, but everyone agrees on a draw. So what do you do with that? How does the AI turn all this probability into an actual practical bet? And the AI's final answer is, well, it's incredibly specific. It's not about going all in. Nope. Using a really disciplined strategy and assuming a hypothetical $500 bankroll, it recommends betting exactly $28.29 on the draw. And that's not just a number pulled out of a hat.
It's calculated using a famous formula embedding called the Kelly criterion. It's all about finding that perfect bet size to grow your money over the long term. It's a strategy that values the certainty of that high probability draw over just chasing a bigger, riskier payout.
So, where does this leave us? What does this all mean for the future of how we analyze sports? As the data gets richer and the AI gets smarter, is the pundit's gut instinct going to become a thing of the past? Will it just be replaced by an algorithm's certainty? Or will there always be a place for that human touch in the beautiful game? That's the big question we'll leave you with.